Hi, fashion dolls. It is Fierce Female Friday, June 11th, and welcome to an all-new episode of Style by Stevie. It is What a Man Week here on Style by Stevie as well, too. But before we can get into today's show with our handsome, dreamy-eyed special guest, I would love to do my sponsors first. Today's show is sponsored by Travel Destiny Worldwide. I am doing a giveaway for a $50 rebate card for wherever you decide to travel across the country. Shout outs to our girl, Miss B. Keenard at Travel Destiny Worldwide. Today's show is also sponsored by Exclusive Beauty. You guys know that I'm the brand ambassador for Exclusive Beauty. We have everything from eyelash curlers, makeup, hair products, hot hair tools, and more. And this is our newest cosmetics collection, Lush Mahogany for women of color. So make sure you guys go and check it out. We have everything from eyeshadow palettes, lipsticks, foundations, and beauty blenders, and more. So go shop Exclusive Beauty. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. So, let's get into our interview. It's What a Man Week here on Style by Stevie. And joining me today, we have a fresh new face. You might have seen him in films like Retribution, the movie, and Little Brother, and also True to the Game 2 on BET, alongside a few of our favorite stars. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Thompson Jr. Let's get into it. Let's get into this interview.
How you doing, Stevie?
Welcome to the Dollhouse. It is such a pleasure to meet you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you also. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. And yourself?
Oh, I cannot complain. No complaints.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys share this live. Let everyone know that we are on. And we also have two more additional shows to this. 4 p.m. we have Ron Royster. And also joining us as well, we have Mario Brown. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's What a Man Week here on Style by Stevie. I know all the ladies are jealous. So, but let's get right into it. So how did you get your start in acting? Where did you grow up? You know, your childhood, all of that. Let's get into it.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. That's where I started my acting career. I started in the theater probably when I was 18, so about, a little over 2 decades ago. Started in theater and then worked the theater for about 15 years and then started transitioning over to film and television.
Okay. And my guest yesterday was born in New York as well too. What's his name? It'll come back to me. Devontae Rain is also born in New York, and I have family in New York as well. Most of it is Upper Town, Manhattan. I know you know Brownsville,
Yes.
Brooklyn, places like that. The 5 boroughs. Yes, I have family there, so I'm all familiar with New York. So yes. So tell us a little bit about, how can I say it? I forgot my train of thought. I'm sorry. But the question that I was going to ask you is, who's your inspiration? Who are some of the actors that you look up to when you are doing your roles? Hi, Kim. Wait a minute. Yeah. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Marcus.
I would definitely have to start off the top with Mr. Chadwick Boseman.
Mm.
He the biggest inspirations for the type of roles that I like to see Black lead actors playing. The type of
Yes.
mainstream roles that he chose and that he got to show the world, um, as opposed to the things that we are always exploited for. I mean, that he left a big example for me to follow.
Yes. And I agree with that 100%. And I also would love to add is the fact that he had strength, he had endurance. We never knew what he went through, and he persevered, and gave his all 100%. And more importantly, he's given us these amazing projects like 42, The Black Panther, of course, and James Brown, Get On Up. So one thing I commend him for, and he'll always be remembered for, is his endurance, 100%. So, my next question for you is, what do you like to do in your spare time when you're not acting, when you're not on the set? What does Marcus like to do? What makes him happy?
What makes me happy? I really like taking pictures. I really like photography. I really like, let's see, I like nature. I like being outside and being at water, like sitting at a lake and just having some peace. So I guess like always trying to find peace outside of pursuing because it's a crazy world. As you know, this world that we're in, it's quite it's quite hard to navigate sometimes. So I think having that space away from it where you can just relax is just necessary. So yeah, anything that can find me peace, sitting at the water with a cold drink is. How about you?
Yes. Yes, and I allow my guests to turn the tables on me and put me in the hot seat and ask me questions. I don't mind. We had so much fun doing that yesterday with my guests throughout this week. But what do I like to do that makes me happy? Well, as you guys can tell from my Instagram, I love fashion. I'm a fashion girl. So I love my designer labels, my Chanel, my Prada, my Dolce Gabbana, but it's not about material things for me. It's about something that makes me happy. And it's an escape. It's a getaway because if you guys see, I'm always changing up my look, progressing. And for me, change is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with change. And even me, I just shot my first horror film. I just did my first movie role. Shout outs to Alex Jonte, the assistant to Reconnected, which will be dropping in October, my birthday month. And the trailer dropped September 6th. This is my first movie role. I had no acting experience. This is what people know me mainly for. It's for speaking engagements, doing hair, nails, makeup, fashion. That's what people know me mainly for. But for me to do this character, Professor Fair, it was a lot out of my element because he wanted me to have short hair. And we know how women are about it. We know how women are about our hair. We love, like today, as you guys can see, my hair is long. But for this role, I said, I'm gonna take one from the team. I'm gonna take one for the team, and I'm gonna do it for you because you're my friend, and this is an amazing project, and I believe in you 100%. So yes, and the project was a success. It turned out excellent. But what else makes me happy is writing. It's therapeutic because, like you said, as we know, 2020 has been very difficult for all of us to navigate, which brings me to my next point. With COVID hitting, the pandemic hitting us, has it been difficult for you to get your projects out here like you really want to? Because I know a lot of artists, a lot of creatives, a lot of actors, producers, directors have just had to put things back on hold with this pandemic going on.
Yeah. At the beginning of it all, took a significant hit as far as getting work and getting jobs and stuff. I had just booked a job on a major feature film, and like a
Congrats.
week after booking that job, well, after a week after booking that job, COVID came and it shut down the entire production. So um, for a lot of us, though, we took that time to train and we took that time to, get back into our craft and make ourselves stronger in the craft. So, I mean, there were the hits financially, but that time allowed me to fortify, my strength as an actor. So it was a blessing of some sorts.
Absolutely, 100%. And what else this has taught us is that we have to come together as Black people. We have to unite and support one another. There's no time to be out here judging people and support people's vision. That's more importantly that I'm very passionate about is supporting people's creativity and their vision. And thank you, MJC. NJ is it EMJ, EJM, NYC. I'm sorry for messing up your name, my love. Thank you so much. Yes, that's what it's all about because a lot of creatives I know it took us for a whirlwind that we would have never expected something like this to happen to us. But more importantly, we just have to teach each other unity and come together. And my next point of the conversation is, out of all your roles that you portrayed in your past, which one is your favorite?
Which one is my favorite? Um, are you there? I see a little dot.
Yes, I'm sorry. Instagram went out on us. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I recently I recently had a character that battled mental health issues, and because of his mental health, he was suicidal. Um, and so it wasn't my favorite because of the development, because it was one of the hardest characters to develop. How do you portray someone struggling on the inside and then show it on the outside that they're trying to be normal? So how do you play I'm trying to be normal, but on the inside, there's a storm. Um, so after doing the production, what actually happened was night after night, during our procession line, people would come up to me and thank me for telling their story. People that I did not know, people that were looking for the courage to step up and speak about what they're suffering from. Them having the reaction of connecting with that character. A few people told me that they had gotten the courage to go get help or go see a counselor or try different avenues because what they saw in the performance was too close. So that was one of the most rewarding performances I've had. Thank you.
You're so welcome. And that brings me to my next point. As you guys know, it's What a Man Week. And Style by Stevie, when I created this platform back in 2016, I was 18 years old. I'm 27 now. I had a vision, young Black woman who had a vision. And I speak mostly from the standpoint for all Black women out here, as we know, but it's good to pick men's brain. And I know he's like, well, what is she going to ask me next? You speak about, talking to people and go and seeing what they go through. Mental health, because I know it's been difficult for a lot of us in the Black community. And I had this conversation with a lot of my male guest co-hosts to kind of see where their mind is at. So with 2020 being here and things being pushed back, what advice would you give to Black men out here on depression and just controlling their anger, or more importantly, just learning to cope and open up? Because we as the girlfriends and the wives over here, we're just like, well, what do we do? What do we do from here? And I know a lot of women have questions. So for you as a Black man, Marcus, what advice would you give to other Black men on depression and just in general mental health?
I would say number one, don't let anybody invalidate your feelings. Whatever you're feeling, you feel that way for a reason. And don't let anyone deny you feeling that feeling for whatever reason. And I know that as Black men, we tend to do that amongst each other. If somebody's going through something heavy, the reaction is always just to play it off or just to second guess it, and a lot of times we do that to ourselves where we just allow it to, okay, you're right. No, allow yourself to explore those emotions. Find the core, search and find why you're feeling like that, and then try to navigate through it. But that would be my number one advice. Never let anyone take away what you're feeling or make your feelings less value, because they.
Exactly, 100%. And it's all about communication, communicating with your significant other in a relationship. You can't keep things bottled in on the inside. And even for us as women, we have our issues with mental health awareness as well, too. And shout out to Taraji P. Henson for creating an outlet and a platform where we as Black people as a whole, because for so long, we've been oppressed for 600 years. And it seems like the oppression is nonstop. And for us in the Black community, we've been taught for years, and I say this every single episode. You can go back and check out every episode. I've done over 207 shows. And out of every episode that I've talked about mental health, this has always been the same thing that I've said. We were so quick to be told, well, go to God. Just talk to God about it. It's going to be all right. Yes, go to God. But God put therapists here for a reason. So what I'm saying is faith without work is dead. We can't keep these emotions bottled up inside. For us as Black people, we have been taught to just be strong. Just be strong. You can take whatever is coming your way. But no, it mentally does something to you. Like, it's draining. It's exhausting. And even to have to turn on the news and see what's going on with police officers and our, as Black people in general, our run-ins with them. And I could not watch the George Floyd boy video. I just could not watch it, and I'm honestly saying that here. This is the first time you ever hear me say it. I've seen clips and pictures. That's all. I did not watch the whole video. I couldn't, because that's something that is in the Black community, and that is Black trauma. And I know for you, Marcus, as a Black man, you have your challenges. For me, as a Black woman over here, I have my challenges as well too. I face colorism, misogyny, patriarchy, all of these things. And on my platform here, I try to dismantle it, because everybody deserves to be treated equally. And that's just how the way I see it. And for us to have a platform where we can go and there's representation that looks like us, I said, okay, let me do it. Let me be the Black voice. Let me do something for us that where we can have fun. Yes, very true. Exactly, Larry and EJM, 100%. Because for so long, we as Black people have been told that our feelings are invalid. You can't feel this way. How dare you sit there in that brown skin and feel this way, and feel this anger, and feel this rage, or feel this depression, or feel this sadness. We can feel how we want to feel. We've been oppressed for 600 years. And now that we are now having a voice to come out and say, okay, no more, we're not going to tolerate this, even with this election that happened in 2020. It's just been, I'll just say it, a circus. It's been a circus throughout 2020 up until now. So I know for each and every one of us to have problems, we have to open up and talk about it. And I'm glad you asked me that question about an outlet. Writing is also a great outlet as well too. And for a lot of us content creatives out here, a lot of us actors, up and coming actresses, music artists, writing has become therapy for a lot of people. Put whatever you are feeling on that paper. And I know you know this too, Marcus, because you are not only just an actor, but a producer, director. You do so many things. Writing that script or just writing something, you're just like sitting at the boardroom table and it's just something dawns over you like, okay, I've experienced this. What do I want to put into this next character? So for you writing scripts or doing what you're doing, where do you pull your inspiration from? Who do you see as inspiration, or what runs through your mind when you're doing the creative process of creating characters or portraying a character?
It's honestly, I draw from things that I know about. I draw from people that I know. I draw from the experiences of my friends, family, and circle. I try to stay away from roles that I can't invest or develop. So I know specifically my lane, or which characters I can play and develop. And so with the writing process, it's honestly just trying to with the writing process, developing a character. I always start with memories. Uh, when I want a character to be, I go back in a pathology and start with a memory that would put them on the path to where they end up. It could be a childhood memory, but I try to make it so detailed and so vivid that it lives and breathes. Yeah.
100%. And speaking of characters, my next question for you was, how do you show your castmates the importance of communication?
How do I show my castmates the importance of communication? Well, I'm a very introverted person, believe it or not. So how I do it with my castmates is mostly staying connected with my scene partner. And I don't know, we talk regularly. Um, just the normal ways that we communicate, especially in this pandemic world. So a lot of Zoom, and a lot of video chats. But just yeah, you're right. Communication is key in any production, any relationship, really, any relationship. That's one.
And I would have, I'm
Sorry,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's one of the things that I struggle with, but something that I work on every single day. Communication.
And also, how would you like to encourage others and ideas? How would you like to encourage other people to, go whatever it is that you're going for, go for it? How do you encourage people or give them just a piece of nugget or advice? What would you say to that?
Something that doesn't really sound cliche. Everything really sounds cliche, but it's so true. Like, don't stop. You know, the number one most important thing with anything that you are destined to do is don't stop. It's almost your responsibility. It's the reason why you're here. And like, I guarantee you something else, it might not go right. Everybody here, every single person on this planet has a destiny, has a path, has a journey. And when you're not taking that path that is yours, it makes it harder to navigate in life. So you have to find your path, and you have to stay on that path, and you receive that greatness. It's guaranteed. It's the reason why you're here.
Right. Manifestation and desire. That's what I'm all about, 100%. And I'm all about putting things out in the universe. My mom gave me this prayer book. Like, she said, write down whatever you've accomplished throughout the day. It can be a big interview, it can be whatever. Just, it's a little book, and you can write down all of your greatest achievements in this book. And I haven't opened the book yet. I'm just like, I'm just beginning. I'm just beginning. This is just the beginning for me, because I have so much lined up outside of Style by Stevie that is not even funny. Like, opportunities left and right and blessings. I'm not gonna speak on them, but you guys been noticed, because I'm like Beyonce. I'll drop it here and here, I'll drop it here and there, and I won't give away too much, because I believe that all of your success should just be silent. All of your success, what you're working on, should be silent. But kind of give a hint to people. Let everyone know, but don't give away too much, because you're going to have those who are in the background. And I talked about this yesterday with Devontae and Taylor on naysayers and people who just don't believe in your vision. And I've had to cut a lot of people off who just don't believe in me, who just do not give, again, the black, yes, I'm pulling that black woman card, y'all. Because black women, we don't get enough credit. We don't get enough just due. We don't get our flowers. And I've heard Monique say that, and I've heard so many other actors. Viola Davis even said it best. She said it very boldly. She said, if you don't see me as, you don't pay me like, you call me the Black Meryl Streep, pay me like it. We know that that's an issue. That's a whole nother conversation. But it doesn't cost a thing to support someone's vision and their dreams. But I say success should be silent, is because there's going to be those around you who are going to hate on you. They're going to try to steal your ideas. They're going to prey on your downfall. They're going to do all of these things, all these negative. How do you handle negativity? How do you keep so sane? Because it shows through your characters. You're very extroverted through your characters, but now I would have never expected this from you. You're introverted in a way. So how do you deal with negativity and peer pressure? That's my question. I love you too, baby.
Honestly, through support. It's through that. That is one of the biggest struggles
Mm,
that we have in this industry is handling negativity, handling rejection. So that how I deal with that is my circle, the people that I'm insulated with. They keep me going, and sometimes they believe in me more than I believe in myself. And so it's those moments where I can't handle the negativity, where I'm truly blessed. I'm truly blessed with some good people around me to pick me up and say, no, keep going. We've invested our time in you, so you keep going.
right, 100%. And I believe that a strong, solid support circle is what everyone needs. Family, I put God, family, and then your friends, and everyone else falls last. And for me, I'm a firm believer in God, and I also believe in my family. So it's amazing that my mom supports this platform. And I've gotten a little raunchy at times from here and there, but she's just like, girl, I raised you better than that. Yeah, I wish I would have taken you to church more. And yes, Miss Stevie can be a little bit of a bad girl at times, but it's well needed, because this industry, again, is so male dominated.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make it a man woman thing now. I want everyone to be equal. I want everyone to shine. But for the people out here who have negative people within this circle, cut them off. They will drain you dry. They are like what I call all the time energy vampires. And they are just here to get what they can get off of you. But you want to know what the garlic is? You want to know what the best tool to kill a vampire is?
What's that?
That garlic is success.
Oh, yes.
So when they see your success, That sunlight, they hate garlic and they hate sunlight. Continue to shine like EJM, my baby just said in the comments. Continue to shine. And that's what I've continued to do on my platform. Yeah, I've gotten mad when people just didn't see my vision. They said, oh, well, we support you. And then they just failed to show up or, not just support your vision in general. But I'm the type of person to believe in giving a person a second chance. But if you let me down, the Scorpio in me will come out and she will definitely let you have it. But I tend to filter it in a different way. When people, don't believe in me, I like to try to prove people wrong. And I've been like that since I was 7 years old. My mom would always tell me, no, you can't do this. You're too young. And I would always prove her wrong. But yeah, I'm going to do a little something different here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to turn the tables and I'm going to pass the microphone to Marcus. And Miss Stevie's about to get put in the hot seat. And I don't know if Wendy or Oprah or Ricky Lake or any of these other talk show hosts and journalists would ever do that on their platform. But for me, I allow my guests, when they come into the dollhouse here, I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to feel at ease. We're going to have a good time. This conversation is amazing and the audience is vibing out. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me or Marcus. So I'm going to let the tables turn a little bit, and I'm going to let Marcus take the microphone and ask Miss Stevie some questions.
All right. So, Miss Stevie, question number one that I have for you is lemonade or iced tea?
To be honest, I love sweet tea. I'm in South Carolina, so I'm a Southern girl. But it's both for us down here, but mainly sweet tea. Yeah.
Mainly sweet tea. Sweet tea. Okay. Let's go. And where are you from?
South Carolina, born and raised. I'm a Southern girl. I'm a Southern belle.
So do you like that Carolina? You're famous for the barbecue down there. Is that like a staple from your family and your household? You grew up with that?
Yes, my father barbecues. It's like tradition has been passed down, and we have so many family gatherings, especially during like holidays. It'll be the 4th, and my aunt and uncle, they would put something on the grill. So when you look around, you smell the grill food, or it could be next door because we had a neighbor next door, and whenever it's a holiday, it can be the 4th of July. They're on the grill, so it is a thing down here in South Carolina. We love barbecue. That is no lie.
Mm, that is that is all. And what's your favorite dessert around the barbecue time? You have the barbecue desserts like the banana pudding, the cobbler, the caramel cake. So what's like the favorite summer barbecue dessert?
Well, my cousin made this one time, and this was at one of our family gatherings, and it's never been done. I would have to say pistachio salad, and I love it so much. It's the whipped cream and everything. It was delicious. That is one of my guilty pleasures. And another one of my guilty pleasures, for those of you who don't know, is Snickers ice cream and cookies and cream ice cream. So yes.
Ooh, what's your favorite thing to do in the summer?
Whew. Before this thing even hit, I would exercise a lot. I would be outside. I would just go outside and take a walk with nature. We have a big backyard, and I'm blessed for that. This is my grandmother's house. We built this house from the ground up, and there's a lot of childhood memories here. So I would just go outside and exercise in the yard, or my favorite thing, shop, of course. Before this even hit, me and my cousin would be on the road, and she used to call me her shopping buddy. We'd be at the mall, we'd go on someplace to shop. So yeah, but just taking the time to be one with nature. There's nothing wrong with taking a walk. My brother would bring his dog down here, his girlfriend, and the family would be together all in one house because he lives in Charleston.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be amazing. But that's one of my favorite things to do during the summer months is spend time with family. But with everything happening, COVID, it's just like you've been having to limit access to everybody. You can't hug, and I hate it so much. I hate it. I just can't wait for it to be over.
I know. Yeah, COVID just, and now that things are starting to open back up, we have like these small events, and because people are so like they have so much cabin fever, like these events are selling out like quickly. Like
Mm-hmm.
I went to a children's theater show, and normally, it's like normally in a non-COVID time there'd be 20 parents showing up because this was like the first post-COVID event, this thing was packed. Like adults getting dressed up to watch, kindergartners do a little stage play. I was like, wow, yeah. People are getting sick of being in the house. So about the film, how much can you actually tell us about the film?
Well, the horror film.
Yes.
Well, my character is Professor Fair, and we know that Miss Stevie's a little bit of sweet, and in the words of my girl Meg Thee Stallion, savage. So, but this character, Professor Fair, she's a no nonsense type of woman. She's straight to the point. She's straight to her business, and it definitely has a plot twist that you would never expect. That's all I can give away. Alex will kill me if I give it away, but reading the script and going through it, I'm just like, oh my God. And some of my friends, almost everybody on that cast that I'm working with are good friends of mine. Shout outs to Sky Valentine. I call him my brother. And also Roman Anthony as well. So we have a scene where we're like in like this classroom setting and we're exchanging words back and forth. You know how teachers are with their students. If a student talks back to the teacher and you have that one student who bugs you all the time. So yes, the class that I'm teaching is the ethics class. So it was so much fun portraying this character and just being sassy and commanding the attention. Cause I'm like, I'm so much like this character in a way in real life. Like, I'm an independent woman, very strong-minded, very strong, willed, who's already set, who already has everything lined out how she wants everything to be. But that's fair. Of course, he wanted me to have short hair for this role, and I wasn't complaining about it. And the look that he put together for this character, I loved it so much. So it's a little bit out of my element with me being my first movie role, my first acting role, because I'm no Viola Davis. I'm no Halle Berry. I have no acting experience under my belt whatsoever. But for me to portray this character, I'm just like, okay, let me tap into my inner. I thought of one of my teachers in high school, Miss Ferguson, and how she commanded attention in the classroom. You know, how the students are when the teacher is not there and she comes in the classroom, he says, all right, let's begin on the first lesson. To take charge, it was so good to be a little bit of a, I'm going to just say it, to be a little bit of a bitch. I loved it so much. I loved it. I loved it. And I would love to do more acting, but I can't forget where I came from, and that's fashion. Fashion will always be under my belt. That's something that I love. And acting, it would take a lot more for me to get into this because I would have to do a lot of training, but I had no training, no acting experience. And when we did the table read, I nailed it. And then when we shot the film, because we shot back in April, and we had to do how many takes? We did 3 tapes. That third tape was when I got it. And everything went perfect. You know, I skipped the line in around the first 2 takes, but he said, all right, we got it. And then when we did our angles, because we was like in a Zoom classroom setting, it was amazing. And I had a blast, and I would do it all over again. I would do it all over again. I wouldn't trade it back for the world. Because reading scripts, sometimes it throws you off because, you know, your character, your co-star might do little ad-libs. And it's like, well, I wasn't expecting this. This is not in the script. Where was this? You did this to kind of throw me off. And we did a lot of ad-libbing. I did ad-libbing. This is my first time ever doing it. And my co-star, shout outs to Roman, he'll be back here in July, also did some ad-libbing as well, too. And it was funny in between takes because almost everybody on the cast forgot a line or skipped over a line, and we had to go back and take that tape. And that third tape, we got it. It was perfect.
Got it. Oh man, so you enjoyed your first experience on set and the hours and everything with it, because it can be mentally taxing for some people. Movie making is a long process.
And I can't wait to see the trailer. The trailer dropped September 6th. It was so worth it, Marcus. And I would do it all over again. I would do it all over again. I enjoyed the experience. After we did that third take, I was just like, whew, because I had on a whole gown. Like today I'm wearing a gown. I don't know if I'll post the pic at the end of the show, yes, so you guys can see it. But that gown to sit up there, because I was sitting still for a whole hour, like in the Zoom room with everybody and the cast members interacting with them, and I'm just like, whew, okay, now I can take this gown off. Now I can breathe. So I enjoyed it so much. And I would, like I said, I would do it all over again. I would do it all over again, and I would do more and more and more acting, just to kind of get my feet in the experience of being in the acting field, and more so behind the lens as well too. Because like I do for my platform, every episode put together, coronated, had to make sure that we were all on time. It's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes for setting up interviews and things like that. So I just said, you know what? Let's give this a challenge as well too. Let's go for it.
So, what kind of roles would you going into the future? What type of roles would you like to take on? What type of characters would you like to give life to?
Hmm. I would love to play a, how can I say it? Somewhat like an Olivia Pope, but the good one that exposes all the evil, all the bad, somewhat like a superhero. Because we don't see a lot of Black women superheroes out here. So, yeah, something like that, a heroine, somewhat, or I would like to be the lead. But I know that's coming in due time, in God's perfect time. And I don't try to rush things. It's all going to fall in line. And I'm a person that believes that when the stars align, what's out there for you is for you. So, when God has a plan and you have the purpose, he gives you all of that and more. And it's more and more to come along the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, wow. I almost can see you, vision you. I can almost envision you in a role of playing someone strong in like the 60s or 70s coming up, someone from the Black Panther Party, a strong black woman from the Black Panther Party. That would be, I could see you in a role like that.
You know what? Everybody says that they could see me in some type of role where it's just like a woman, a Black woman in the revolution, because I have been so vocal on issues of injustice and police brutality and things that go on within the Black community. So I agree with you. I could see that too. And again, in God's perfect time, and if somebody wants me to play that, because sometimes they'll make it funny, they'll make fun of it. Like, she's the super woke chick. It's an episode of Martin, and it's a woman in the audience when he had this feminist come on the show, and she was talking about stop eating meat and all of these things. And the woman was like, I don't need no man. I'm a strong woman. Like, they try to make it funny, but if I, comedy, I can see myself doing comedy as well too, because I love to make people laugh. I love to put a smile on their face. But I'm no Monique. I'm no what's her name, Samore, or Lonnie Love, or any female comedian out here. That wasn't my passion. That's not my gift. My gift was fashion and giving people the truth as a journalist more than anything. But I could not see myself in an acting role like that, where it's a woman that's been a part of the Black Panther Party. I can educate you on this historical party that was for us, 100%. But I could see that.
So on the fashion tip, what are some of the trends that you're liking for men? I always suffer with fashion. I'm just like a t-shirt kind of guy. So for, let's see, not summer, because summer's almost over. Going into the fall, what are some of the fashions that you're seeing for men that you would like to see, especially Black men, take advantage of and really, you know, shine with?
Fashion trends that I would love to see on men. I would love to see men in more suits. And I'm not saying you have to put on a full suit and tie, but they just have their own swag with it. And I can give several examples like ASAP Rocky, Lil Nas X, who else? John Legend. Like, they've just taken this and they paired it with Converse or some Nike sneakers, and they just did their own thing with it. Like, it wasn't a full suit and tie like you're going to church or to the business office, but they made it fun and funky. That's what I'd love to see more of. And there's nothing wrong with adding a t-shirt to your attire. I've seen a lot of guys do like the ankle type pants, like the capri pants, and just a pair of kicks. I like that. Like, I love it when men are just eclectic with their fashion sense. Like, I think Russell Westbrook or Cam Newton would be the perfect example of that. I just love it when men are eclectic with their fashion sense. So I know a lot of guys ask, why don't she post a lot of men, why don't you post men on your style report when you do the style report here on my show? Because I do that with my co-hosts. That'll be tomorrow. Because I'm like, in my mind, men aren't really into fashion and looks like women we are, because we take a lot of process to put these looks together, to have to make sure that everything is just perfected. And even with men, they have wardrobe malfunctions too. I've had several wardrobe malfunctions that I will ever never speak on this show. Like, I almost, like the type of gown that I'm wearing today. Thank God for fashion tape. That's all I'm gonna say. But there was the one look that I did, and that was a green. Shout outs to my girl at Blue Haze. It was a green dress, and all of this was open on the side. I had a whole leg out. We know how women are with the slits when we have on the gowns and dresses, and I loved it so much. So I've taken a lot of risks throughout the past seasons of this show, and I don't ever apologize for it. I don't ever apologize.
I would also love to ask you about skincare, because that's one thing, especially with us black males. And going out with summer, a lot of us, don't exfoliate and take care of our pores and things like that. What would be something simple now, because you can't make it too difficult for us men? What's a simple routine for us to do in the morning or at the end of the day when we're outside sweating and doing yard work, to take care of our skin and make sure that we stay young and healthy looking?
Well, for me, I'm always glammed up, hair and makeup. I'm a lady, so that goes within there. Not trying to knock anybody else who wears makeup, but skincare is very critical and important, because we have eczema, we have emphysema, we have so many skin diseases out here, and acne and all of these things. When you come from outside, make sure you pat yourself with a towel. I don't believe in pulling the skin, and in beauty school we were taught not to pull the skin. So definitely face wash. I believe in a lot of toners and facial mist. I believe in all of these things and more to keep your skin looking hydrated, especially during the summer months. And even as we go into the winter, it's all about making sure that you keep your skin moisturized, because our skin can get cracked and dry and all of these things. So for the men's skincare routine, face wash is important. They have toners out here. They have tonics that you can use in your skin. If you have beards, make sure you are taking care of your skin, your beard as well too. I see a lot of men are really invested into grooming, and more importantly, taking care of their beards. That they love us women. They love us love affair. That beard is their first love affair. So ladies, I'm sorry I just broke it down to you, but they will always, because I see a lot of, every time you look around, they got a hair comb or something combing that beard. So yes, that's important too. Make sure you guys are taking care of race bumps are a thing within the black community, and not just black men get them, but black women, we get them too, because I shave my legs and underarms as well. And next thing you know, next few days after it progresses, you'll see a bump or two. So make sure that you are using an astringent as well. Hey, Lamar, that's one of my co-stars from The Assistant. Shout outs to him, my Scorpio brother. That's also a key thing within the black community. And moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. Every time I take off my makeup, and it doesn't have to be a man-woman thing. Men have to moisturize as well too. You got your tonic, you got your face wash, as well as a moisturizer. Moisturizer is a key thing, because we have to make sure that our skin has hydration, because it will get cracked and dry over time. And we'll see all of these things start to happen. So when it comes to black skincare, we have to make sure that we are also, one more thing, sunscreen. Not right now, we're still like in the summer months. For all of my brothers and sisters out here, make sure you are protecting and preserving your melanin, because just because of, the ones that if they go outside, they turn into prunes, we have to make sure that we are taking care of our skin as well too, because there's skin cancer, UV rays, all of these things that are harmful to us. So yes, definitely include a sunscreen in your bag as well too. So those are the men's skincare routines. You don't have to do like me, because I use the facial mist, I use the face wash. My favorite go-to for beauty is Olay. I use Olay, and I also use a lot of Neutrogena. So those are two of my favorite go-tos with skin. And of course, if you want to go on the luxury side of skincare, you don't have to go all out and buy luxury products like I do, like the Dior's and the Chanel's and the what's the name of that company? What is the name of that company? Clé de Peau. You don't have to go and invest in Saint Laurent skincare and all of these things. You do not. But find a skincare routine that works for you. But more importantly, make sure that you are wiping off the sweat because it can result in breakouts. Definitely can. And change your pillowcases as well too.
Change the pillowcases.
Because bacteria over the years builds up on your pillowcase. So make sure that you are rotating pillowcases out. Don't sleep on the same pillowcase. Even for me, for my hair, for you know how black women are about our hair. So we sleep in the bonnets or we will sleep on a satin pillowcase. For me, I sleep on a satin pillowcase to make sure that my hair, because we want to stop hair breakage, more importantly. And I'm relaxed, by the way, for my ladies out there who want to know, is she relaxed or is she natural? I wear a lot of units. I wear a lot of protective styles. So that hair underneath this unit, I have to make sure that that's protected as well. So those are some of my beauty tips that I would give to everybody, because I know you asked for the men's part, because men don't really talk about skincare, but even in the barbershops, you're starting to see more of the barbers taking initiative. And you can get a facial steam. That works as well, too. Put more hydration and moisture back into your skin.
Moisture, hydration. Got it.
Yes, especially during the summer months. That is a thing. We have to make sure that we are staying on top of that.
Thank you so much for that.
I know it was long-winded, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into making sure that you take care of your skin, because there's so many brands out here. So much has changed. So much has evolved over the years. Shout outs to my colleague. Now's the time. Welcome, welcome. All right. Do we have any questions for Marcus? I know it was kind of long-winded for me, but okay, I can breathe now. So, oh my God. All right, my next question for you is, where does Marcus see himself in his acting career going in the next decade, the next few years, building up and progressing? Because I see so much for you. You just also did a role in True to the Game, alongside some of the biggest stars ever. Oh my God. So for you, where do you see yourself next? What's next for you in the horizon going forward?
Going forward, I really honestly see myself telling stories that aren't being told to the world, to the masses. I there's so many specific stories that I want to tell. I want to, I really want to tell a story about a black father. And that's just the experience of being a black father. And I really want to tell stories about things that we don't talk about in that experience, like family court. you know, so I see myself having films that tell stories, our stories that are not being told or not being told enough. And I see those stories helping people. Going back to just having that experience in the theater, I would like to have that experience amplified by the big. Yeah,
This time on a second, but you were saying that you wanted to see stories of about black fathers.
yes, the stories that the stories that we don't tell from the experience of the black father, especially stories like family court. um, and how the experience is much different for us than for anyone else.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. And we see black men often typecast, not only just black men, but black actresses as well too. And I can give you the perfect example of that, like Leslie Jones. They always typecast her. So give people roles that are flexible. More importantly, not just showcasing us as the criminals or the ones that are being locked up, are gonna like showcase us in a different light. Showcase us in these roles as an executive or owning a business. Like Empire is the perfect example. Because you have this black family, everybody, is doing their own thing in the music industry. From the characters, Lucius, Cookie, everybody is doing their own. And I apologize about the technical delays. It kept going in and out. I'm probably going to rotate phones for the next interview. But what I was trying to say is, don't typecast us. Don't put us in this box of just portraying these certain type of roles. We are flexible and we're worth in doing so much more. And more importantly, you have the power to say, no, I won't portray this type of character. You have that
Exactly.
power. Uh-oh, it went out of sec. Again, I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's Instagram glitching on us, and it was kind of raining and storming outside, so that's probably what it is. But my last question for you is, what advice would you give to people who are looking to become an actor or producer or director to just get their feet into the industry? What piece of advice would you give them, and what's the best advice that you received throughout your career?
The best advice I would say is don't do this for money. Don't don't do not do this for money. That is the absolutely
Mhm.
worst and wrong reason to do it. And really honestly, don't give up. Cause what happens when you start to do this for money is you start to put a price between you and telling a story that needs to be told. And sometimes you have to take that away so that the story can be told. Because most of my career has been, I've been paid with like pizza and fruit snacks, but the story has needed to be told to the world, and that's the opportunity. And so you keep creating those opportunities for yourself. Eventually, someone is going to see you, and God is always going to take care of you. God wants you to
Oh yeah.
tell this story, so He's going to take care of you. So don't worry the monetary part. Focus on the journey, um, and have fun. Don't stay so focused that you can't have fun. Enjoy the experience. Enjoy these experiences. Talking to you, meeting you. You know, you have to enjoy this.
100%, 100%. And I agree with that. Cherish the day, cherish these moments. And I said this last week on the show. I think it was Tuesday or Monday. I said, when you get in this industry can do two things. It can make you or it can break you, chew you up and spit you out, or you can grow from this. This is something that you can learn. You can take along the way with you. You can build and network and meet so many talented individuals like yourself and come across so many fresh new faces. And just being capable of doing that, I'm happy. I'm at a place where that's all I have to say is just that, work hard, follow your heart's desires, follow your heart's passions, dreams, all of that and more. And thank you so much, Marcus, for an amazing conversation, an amazing interview. We had some technical glitches, you guys, but this interview will be saved on IGTV. And any last final thoughts you would like to take? Tell your followers, tell people who out here who are following you, supporting you 100%.
Continue to support the arts, continue to support Black actors, continue to support Black entertainers. We, just like with everything else, we have to still work 10 times harder than anyone else. So our support to tell your stories, is needed. So continue to support us, please.
100%. And ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our interview, our first interview. Again, I was saying that we have some amazingly talented, handsome, sexy brothers here all week long throughout the month of June. Next week, we have the ladies. So, of course, Girl Let's Talk is going to be back June 14th, our third episode. Yes, second episode. Third episode airs June 25th. That is going to be a panel for Black women, and we're going to be talking about our experiences and challenges that we face. June 22nd, we have from Essence Magazine, Dana Blair will be here. And also, we have June 30th, Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter Angie Stone will be in the building. So please tune in for that. We have some amazing guests all throughout the month of June. So make sure you guys stay tuned. 4 p.m., we have Mario Brown and Ron Royster. And Ron is also a good friend of Marcus's here.
Ron.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. When I said let everyone know where they can find you at.
Just, please follow me on Instagram, Marcus Thompson Jr. Follow my Facebook at Marcus Thompson Jr. And just, I'll put all of my upcoming, shows, movies, films, I put them all there on social media.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first show for today on What a Man Week here on Style by Stevie. And coming up next at 4 p.m., make sure you guys tune in. There's going to be a panel. So I'm going to be interviewing Ron Royster and Mario Brown. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I love you all. This interview will be saved up on IGTV. And today's show is sponsored by Exclusive Beauty Hair Store. For my ladies out there, because we're looking for a hot girl summer, and I know y'all are wanting all the hair care needs, all your beauty needs. When you've wanted, we got it. And I love y'all all, and I will see y'all at 4 p.m. Take care, Marcus.